This is the farmhouse, where I grew up, where my father grew up, where my grandfather grew up, where my great-grandfather grew up. The main house was built in 1860. We got electricity in 1943 with the Rural Electrification Act. And now what I am doing is I'm removing the majority of the 1960 updates and reverting the era back to somewhere between 1920 and 1950. I'm going to show you each room in the order that I did them years ago. While I am no more of a carpenter or a designer than any member of my family has ever been, I'm doing it to suit me and my tastes. So I guess this episode is going to be entitled, I Didn't Know That Silicone Seal Could Mold. If you notice, that is definitely mold. Now, I used what I thought was a good brand of silicone. It was the silicone that came with the Best Bath walls, but obviously it didn't work. So I went to Home Depot and I found this GE Supreme silicone that it says that it's lifetime mold free. So that's probably what I should have used initially, but I didn't even know that the stuff was supposed to that would mold. So luckily for Christmas I got this Ilytic Professional Silicone Profiling Kit. And in it, got a whole bunch of goodies. And this tool right here is supposed to remove silicone. So we'll have to try that. I have no idea how it's going to work, but I got to get that silicone out of there. So apparently that comes off like that. And as to how you get the silicone out of there, I have no idea. Well, that seems to be working pretty good like that. How can I get under it? I gotta be careful because I did read that this particular brand, the handle can break, which is probably not a good thing. There were some reports. Alright. So how do you get that out of there? I guess like that. So it is coming out. And right there, you definitely can see that there is mold. So I will just continue along and see how I get. And what I discovered is after using this blade to cut, I put this other blade in to try to go in and pull it out, because that's the tough job, is getting it out, because you can't cut it all the way to the back. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, and I have been reasonably successful. I got a bunch of stuff. Now it seems to be that if you go in and grab it and pull it out like that, be careful not to dig, into the porcelain, it comes out. That seems to be the best way that you can use that particular tool once you get it cut. So there's all the silicone that I managed to get out, and the finish all along there, you can see it's pretty clean. What I used was acetone and a paper towel, and you can see what it picked up. Well, I think I'm finally beginning to figure out how to use this tool, and I know why people are breaking the handle. When you go in to pry, they're prying back here. If you keep your hand down there, you won't snap off that head. But the way this works is once you got the top cut and the bottom cut, you go in the width of the blade, bend down, and basically you tear it. And you get a piece like that. And you just work your way all the way down. So that's how I think people are breaking the handle, is they're raunching on it down here instead of up here. Now the technique that I showed you is probably only going to be applicable to a Best Bath tub surround against my cast iron tub. But anyway, there is all the stuff that I took out. It took about 2 hours. So now I've got to see about putting new in again. Now out of all of the profiles, I decided to pick the one that says KRD. I don't know whether you can see that, KRD. It's got a very, very slight taper. I mean, that I think is going to be too much, and it's going to be out onto the tub too much. This one looks like there's going to be just a very slight fillet. I looked at the square one right here, and that one, that looks just too tight. So what I'm looking at is that I'm going to put it on, and I guess you have to, I'm not sure which way you do it. I'll figure it out. So I got my silicone in my Ryorby caulker. Let's see how this goes. Come on. There we go. Maybe I'm going to have to turn it up a little bit, I don't know. It makes it so much easier to caulk. So I'll take that edge and nope, it's not touching it. So I got to put a bit more in. I'd like to have a little bit on the outside. Alright, let's try that. I'm just experimenting here and you're watching me. I don't think that's terribly bad. There are spots I'm probably going to have to touch up a little bit. But you get the idea. Okay, I made one more pass and I think I got it. It was angling that red fillet tool to get a good profile. I think that was the key. Well, I have to say that red tool did a very nice job. Very nice job. Better than the old one with my finger. So let's just hope that does not blue mold in the future. Let that set for 24 hours. and we'll go from there.